6 structural features you need to consider before settling on a bakery premises. Number 1, the size. The size of the bakery premises will depend on the oven size and the production capacity. For example, if you have 2-deck oven and below, you will produce 600 loaves in a day. That will mean a space of 5 to 10 meters will be appropriate. If you are using 3-deck and above, like this, or convection ovens, it means you are producing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 loaves. And therefore, you will need a space at least 10 meters by 10 meters. But if you are producing 3,000 loaves and above with rotary ovens, you'll need a go down size premises, which is about 4,000 square feet or so, maybe 20 meters by 20 meters, because we will divide that area into several sections, which is the complete sections that make up a bakery unit. So now imagine you have, let's say, a convection oven setup. You are planning to produce 2,000 loaves or 3,000 packets of buns. In that case, this oven here. When it comes to the second feature to consider, the height. Why the height is the second thing to consider? It's because of the height of the ovens themselves. So if my technician can show this, the height, you will see it's approximately 1.9 meters. But remember, we need an allowance like 2 meters, for example. So if you are using a convection oven, you are talking about a structural height of 2 meters. That is what height of the door, not of the premises. The entry point of the premises, which the main door, at least must be 2 meters and above. But remember, a convection oven is relatively in the middle size. When we are talking about rotary oven, we have height going up to that point, and we are talking about 3 meters allowance to allow the motors and everything else to fit properly. And in case they are using a forklift, it gives it that allowance. But the most important thing to consider also is the width. The third thing is the width. Why? Some ovens are wider than others. So the entry to your premises must allow the oven to move in with ease. An example is if I'm using a convection oven setup of, I need a width of at least 1.1 meters, or to give it good allowance, I need about a door which is 1.2 meters. Let me tell you, we've had many instances in the last 8 or so years. Many bakeries, the ovens cannot move inside the premises. And one of the main issues is because of the width. You find that they have made a standard door, and it means this oven cannot enter your premises in whichever way. Because remember, we are not allowed to invert or lean the ovens in that manner. So we've had even cases last month, the oven could not fit. They had to put it outside for a period of 1 month. They cover it as they make arrangements to restructure or to make their door wider. And what happens if that place cannot be adjusted? It brings in a lot of issues. And one of the most intriguing things I've seen, that ovens had to be brought in through the roof. They had to remove the roof, bring a crane, and bring in the ovens inside the bakery. And it's such an expensive venture. And that is why when you are selecting a premises, you need to factor in such important things. The other thing we need to check is phase. Do you have a 3-phase or single-phase connection in this building? Why? If you are using 2-deck oven and below, you can use single-phase. But if you are using 3-deck, this 3-deck convection oven and a rotary oven, if you are using electric models, there is no way you can use a single-phase. So that is why you have to ask yourself, does my premises has 3-phase or single-phase? And remember, for 3-phase equipment like mixers, they can be able to do 3 times the work of an equivalent mixer of single-phase. And therefore, for industrial production, we recommend 3-phase connection is the best, because the machines are able to perform 3 times the work, and therefore they are able to give you more output. And that's why we recommend 3-phase for at least above 1,000 to all the way to 10,000, 100,000 loaves. You need to consider 3-phase connection. And therefore, the fourth important thing to consider is water. Does this premises have water, because sometimes these premises do not have good water supply. And remember, we need water in the oven for steaming. Some ovens have a steam function, and therefore we need to connect the oven to water. We need to connect the oven to the proofer, because proofer must work with a lot of water. And lastly, we need water for mixing. So we must have a tap near the mixing area where we can get some water, measure that water before we put it in the mixer. So water is a very, very critical role. The last and one of the most important things to consider is air circulation in your building. And this is achieved by having a longer roof and having meshed windows which allow in fresh air as you are baking. This is particularly important in hot areas where temperatures exceed 25 to 30, 35 degrees. You can imagine when you factor in that baking is taking place there. And therefore, choosing your premises is one of the most important things that will make your work easier and ensure that you run your operations very smoothly. We have talked about you need to check the previous episodes of top 5 places to set up a bakery in Kenya, and the 3 most important things to consider before choosing a bakery premises. And now this is the 3rd and the most important, the structural things you need to check before you decide to take or pay for or commit yourself for a bakery premises. And remember, Bakewave does this advice, site visits, and even any other general advice for free if you commit and buy one of our 10 bakery packages. If you want to see this, go to Google right now, type the word Bakewave, scroll on our website, you will see a green button, Start My Bakery. Click on this, you'll see our 10 best bakery packages prepared for you. You will get free advice, guidance, installation, training, and all that you need to set up a successful bakery. Bakewave is doing this to try and change the course and empower startup bakeries in Kenya, because we are in times of high economic crisis, and with good support, with offering you efficient, energy efficient equipment, good advice, and making sure you get the right steps, you are on a path of success, because there is still a lot of bakery products are required, because population is growing every year, year after year, and a lot of baking products are required for that matter. So if you're looking to start a bakery business, Bakewave is your ideal choice, because we are providing a solution that will be able to make you money and make a difference in your community, in your society, in your school, in your business, and everything. So in the next episode, we'll talk about layout and design of the bakery premises. After you get your premises, what next? You need to know that we follow 2 main important international safety standards, which I will reveal in the next episode. And I will take you step by step from the point of bakery mixing all the way to the final point of your product going to the market. We will discuss about all this layout. Thank you so much, and stay tuned.